This is one I caught wind of late Friday afternoon, early evening, and it generated a ton of buzz into Friday night and Saturday, which is hard to do this time of year on a weekend. The idea that the Jets, there's a rumor, and I want to be very careful how I couch it. We're not reporting that the Jets are doing it, but in league circles, people who are working in football are talking about the Jets wanting Peyton Manning to be the next general manager or whatever title he would have, VP of football operations, whatever it would be, but the leader of the franchise that Christopher Johnson seems to be looking for. Johnson said last week after firing GM Mike McCagnon, he wants a great strategic thinker. It's more than a talent evaluator. And Peyton Manning would fit that bill for one key reason, Chris. He's a guy that I think could work very well with Adam Gase because they've worked together in the past in Denver. And I think Peyton Manning could keep Adam Gase and all that energy and all that drive and desire he has to win football games pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with any of that. I mean, I get it. And I also, I don't, think it's crazy that the Jets are thinking about a guy like Peyton Manning. I understand that thinking as well. I mean, of course, great football mind, grew up in the sport, been around it, pays attention to it. But, I made some calls about this, and just it doesn't sound like this is serious to me from the people I've talked to around the NFL.
Well,
right.
You from Peyton's perspective, you don't think Peyton's ready to do it.
Yes, exactly.
It's one thing for the Jets. The Jets can want him, and Peyton can say, I don't want to do it.
Right.
But you know what? If Christopher Johnson shows up with a truckload of money and a piece of equity, I mean, that's the kind of thing that's going to get Peyton Manning's attention. You have to make him an offer he can't refuse. Until you do, he's going to refuse it.
Yeah, no, agreed. And yes, again, I don't know the Jets side of that, and I certainly wouldn't fault them for kicking around the idea of bringing Peyton Manning in to run your football team. I get that. I just think from the things I've heard, the optics of the situation, I just don't think Peyton Manning's ready yet. I think that's where I really look at it. I do think it's only a matter of time before he is the vice president of football operations or a GM of a certain football team. Definitely. But, everything I know, I think he's enjoying playing golf and just being free right now as far as post Peyton Manning career playing wise and just enjoying his life. But I do think it's only a matter of time. But I think when Peyton decides to go down this road, though, it's not going to be oh, gosh, I haven't been paying attention that closely to football. Oh, now you blew me out of the water, with the Brinks trunk of cash, up to my house, and I'm going to jump in and be the GM. I just don't think that's the way he operates. I think he'd be the kind of guy that this is the time of year we'd start to hear, ooh, Peyton Manning might be interested in looking for a job for next offseason. And then he starts to dive into the football operations side of things during the season to go start evaluating players and rosters and everything like that to get himself ready. So to me, this doesn't look like a Peyton Manning move, even though I don't think it's a bad idea by the Jets on their side.
What do you think it would take to get his attention? How much money per year?
Oh, gosh. I mean, again, we're talking about the guy that I don't know. Nobody's made more money in the history of the NFL than Peyton Manning, right? Along with Papa John's and all of that. So to me, it's not even necessarily all about money in this situation. I would think he's got a lot of it and can feel comfortable there. But I don't know, Mike. I have no freaking clue. What is it? Between $10 and $20 million, I would think.
I think 20. I think 20,
yeah, right.
20 and 2% of the team would do it. 20 and 2% of the team.
I get that. Would the Jets do that? I understand that. I guess the thing I always thought about Peyton Manning is when all's said and done, he's going to go to some place that, fits, who he is as a human being. Like I always thought it would be the New Orleans Saints, maybe after the Sean Payton era is over. Now Peyton Manning comes in and runs the football team. Or maybe the Tennessee Titans because he was a Tennessee Volunteer there. And, of course, he's, arguably the most famous guy in that state as is because of his time at the University of Tennessee. I could see him running that franchise. But I just don't know if the timing seems right with the New York Jets. I think a lot of the things you made as far as, backing up why it would be a good fit, I totally agree with you. I mean, I think Peyton Manning's made for the job. I think he can handle Adam Gase. They'd have a great working relationship. He put a positive vibe and spin on the organization altogether. It just doesn't look like to me right now he's ready to do that.
And I think for a guy like Peyton Manning, when he does something like this, he's going to go all
That's
in,
what I mean.
Completely,
right.
totally, full-time obsession,
yes.
7 days a week. And, it was suggested to me within the first year or so of his retirement that he may just
retire,
he may never get
chill.
back into football.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that there's like I've done my time in football.
Right.
I've lived that part of my life. And, I know Tony Dungy's a firm believer that Peyton Manning will never get into coaching because it will drive him crazy not to have a quarterback as good as Peyton Manning. Well, if you're up in the luxury suite with a suit on and you're watching all the pieces that you've put together on the field, that could drive you crazy. Yeah, I don't know that's far enough removed from playing to make you say, okay, I'm fine with this, even if that quarterback is, not even 20% of what I was. That's the best guy we could find, and we just have to make it work. And Manning's going to be, think about the way he will micromanage in a good way. I mean, I'm a firm believer that whatever he chooses to do, he will be successful at, and he will figure out how to crack the code on putting together a great football organization. I think it'd be great for the league. Get him involved in league matters as well, because I think he will bring good ideas, a relentless work ethic to the table. But that's the thing. He's got to be ready to do it, and he's got to be able to eventually take a step back and see how these young players can go out and screw it up like he didn't.
Well, I mean, you made it right. When he wants to do it, he's going to go all in. That's why, to me, he can't be all in right now. He just can't. From everything I've heard, the life he's living, like you said, he's not going to feel comfortable walking into a building and people are going to bring up players to him, and he's not going to have great knowledge to talk about it. So that doesn't seem like a Peyton Manning move there either way. Hey, if there's a quarterback that's going to be burnt out a little bit after the career, come on, Peyton Manning would be that guy. I mean, he lived the line of franchise quarterback / extension of the coaching staff, maybe greater than any quarterback we've seen here in modern history. So, I mean, it was a grind for him. He was part of game planning a lot of the times, and, all the audibles and the things they did at the line of scrimmage. I mean, man, Peyton had a lot on his plate, more than the normal quarterback from the X's and O's standpoint, to where he might want to break. And let's not forget, Elway, hey, what was it, 13, 14 years before he finally jumped in with the Denver Broncos? So, maybe Peyton Manning needs a little time off to be a father and do other things in life before he gets the fire to jump back in quite yet.
And even if a team like the Jets would offer him $20 million and 2%, one of the reasons it would be easy to say no to it, there'll probably be more later. Right? If that would get out there that the Jets offered it and he said no, then you know what the price is to get Peyton Manning, and at some point somebody, whether it's the Titans, whether it's the Saints, somebody is going to put that together. Because the one thing we always lose sight of, and I think there is, I don't want to start too far down this rabbit hole, I think there is a certain amount of collusion when it comes to setting what teams pay coaches, because coaching salaries haven't gone up over the years the way player salaries have, and I think a great coach is far more important to a team than a great player. But, you got Bill Belichick in that range of $15 million plus, and there's no salary cap. And if you really want Peyton Manning, maybe he's the guy that breaks the mold and allows some of these other coaches and executives to get more money if somebody would pay him $20 million plus per year.
Yeah, well, I think that's like one of the dirty little secrets is, the guys that are really successful in the NFL at coaching, or they're being paid somehow, some other way. Like you said, well, we don't really know what Bill Belichick's making, but I think we expect that he's making, probably double what we hear about, because, of course, he's that important, that successful, that great of a model for an organization. But I've heard about this a lot through the years, even before I was playing. There were certain coaches that won Super Bowls and they were paid more than what was told to the public by, whether it was, off the books by the owners, other businesses, however it may be. And I think that goes on in coaching to kind of keep that price down a little bit for some of the other guys that are in the business.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.